Tommy Yarrish here from the NFL Combine in Indianapolis, joined now by Cowboys defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Matt, thanks for making some time. Since you were last in Dallas, you've been a defensive coordinator and a head coach. Now you're back with the Cowboys helping out at the Combine. In those experiences elsewhere, when it comes to the Combine and seeing these players and interviews and the whole process, what do you feel like you've learned in your time since you were last in Dallas that you can bring to the table now to try and help this team and this coaching staff?
It's really just working together, and it's important that the scouting staff and the coaching staff are on the same page. So the coaching staff has to do a really good job of painting that vision for what we want the players to look like in terms of their position and their disposition. The traits are always there and all that, but Mitch LaPointe does a great job, in terms of the director of college scouting. And, Will McClay does a good job as well of heading that group. And the area scouts, they get all the credit because they're the guys out there looking for what we want to have on the football field. So it's really just a group effort.
You mentioned it being a group effort and getting to know everybody. For Brian Schottenheimer, it's his first time handling this as a head coach. You were in that scenario in Chicago. What have you seen from him in terms of how he's approached this first time leading this team at a combine as a head coach?
Yeah, it's been great. We're all on the same page in terms of the formats for the formal interviews. The other coaches are working down there for the informals, and this is really the first contact for the coaches to be able to get there, with the players, to get to know them. And we'll have 30 visits and all those guys and in there, but this is really our first touch point, and he's doing a great job just coordinating everything.
You mentioned the cohesion that needs to be there on staff and everybody being on the same page in terms of what you're looking for. You talked about it a little bit, but can you expand some more on where you feel like this staff is at and how important that is going forward?
Yeah, I think it's really good. Like I said, paint the vision for what the player can do for us, and certainly, players can only do so many things, but what can they do for us? And that's an important part of it as we evaluate these guys. It's a really good draft in a lot of areas for us, and we're excited about this one.
Yeah, you mentioned it being a good draft in a lot of areas, and for this team specifically, when you look at the coaching staff, and an influx of college guys and some youth that has been kind of inserted into the staff. What do you feel like guys like Junior Adams and Connor Riley and on your side in the defensive room, J.J. Clark are bringing to the table in terms of, hey, they've seen some of these guys in college and have a little bit more perspective on it?
That's a great point, and I was once a college guy coming into the pro game. And the fresh ideas that you have, not only with evaluating players and looking at players, but also schematically, as we get to going with these guys, during the meeting. So I love bringing those guys in, fresh ideas. And, again, those guys knowing those players personally is going to really help us in a draft.
Cowboys defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Matt, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.